This is the Pursuit of Wellness podcast, and I'm your host, Mari Llewellyn. Hi guys, welcome back to another solo episode. I am here in the LA studio at the Bloom offices right now, here for a few recordings, which a lot of them got cancelled, unfortunately. I don't know what it is with LA. I feel like the cancellations are just way more prominent here. I'm not sure why, which sucks, but that's okay because we have a great solo episode today. I asked you guys for questions as per usual. You delivered. There are a lot of juicy things in here. We're going to talk about trying to conceive. We're going to talk about business. We're going to talk about physique. We're going to talk about all the things. So I'm going to kind of scroll through and answer organically whatever's top of mind. You guys seem to really like these episodes, so I'm going to jump in. Just a reminder, I feel like I never ever say this at the top of the episode, but if you enjoy the show, we post multiple times a week, amazing interviews, solo episodes, tons of information, girl chats, connections. So make sure you hit that follow or subscribe button, whether you're on Apple, Spotify, YouTube. It really means the whole world and helps me see what's working and what isn't. And this community just means so much to me. So leave a review also if you enjoy and let me know what you want me to talk about, because I really do listen and appreciate it. So without further ado, let's hop in. How are you really doing? I love when people ask this. I think it's so nice. I'm good. I feel like I'm in a pretty good headspace. I'm excited for the holidays. I'm actually having a holiday party at my house. I'm excited to have the holidays in our Austin home for the first time. I'm doing my second round of IUI this month. I've been taking the letrozole, feeling pretty good about it. It didn't work last month, which was tough, but yeah, I don't feel obsessed about it. I'm definitely sensitive to it. Like, I'm noticing certain conversations I have where, I don't know, I feel like the second you open yourself up about fertility, people have tons of opinions and questions, and it can be a lot. So it's always so nice hearing from you guys about your experiences and, just feeling accepted in that way. And I also just have such a great team around me, Dr. Gabrielle Lyon, and just these great people. I just hosted a wellness event in Austin, and it was so nice to be around like amazing people in the wellness space, and, doing something to give back just felt really good. And I just felt really supported. So I'm doing well. Ups and downs as always. In 2017, I lost 90 pounds, and I was always trying to figure out the right amount that I should be eating and figuring out what worked best for my metabolism. I wish I had had a Lumen. It's the world's first handheld metabolic coach. It's a device that measures your metabolism through your breath, and on the app, it lets you know if you're burning fat or carbs and gives you a tailored guidance to improve your nutrition, workout, sleep, and even stress management. All you have to do is breathe into your Lumen first thing in the morning, and you'll know what's going on with your metabolism. Then it gives you a personalized nutrition plan for that day based on your measurements. You can also breathe into it before and after workouts and meals, so you know exactly what's going on with your body in real time. Your metabolism really is your body's engine, and it's how your body turns the food you eat into the fuel that keeps you going. It's such an important part of health and metabolic health in general. The Lumen can also track your cycle as well as the onset of menopause and adjust your recommendations to keep your metabolism healthy through hormonal shifts. So if you want to try to stay on track with your health this holiday season, go to lumen.me/pow to get 15% off your Lumen. That is lumen.me/pow, POW, for 15% off your purchase. Lumen makes a great gift too. Thank you, Lumen, for sponsoring this episode. Something that my husband is always on my butt about is my subscriptions. He's like, you have all these subscriptions that you don't use. We need to go through it. And that's where I found Rocket Money. Can you name every single subscription you have? I know I clearly can't, and I'm not alone. Over 74% of people have subscriptions they've forgotten about. With Rocket Money, I don't have to remember every subscription or worry about forgetting any because I can see them all laid in front of me. Rocket Money is a personal finance app that helps you find and cancel your unwanted subscriptions, monitors your spending, and helps you lower bills so you can grow your savings. Especially at this time of year with the holidays, we're all buying gifts. A lot of money is being spent. I feel like anywhere you can save is going to be beneficial. Rocket Money has over 5 million users and has saved a total of $500 million in canceled subscriptions, saving members up to $740 a year when using all of the app's features. Stop wasting money on things you don't use. Cancel your unwanted subscriptions by going to rocketmoney.com/pow. That is rocketmoney.com/pow. rocketmoney.com/pow. Do you have any baby names you like and can share but won't use? That's such a good question. Let me pull up my notes right now because I really don't want to share. Like, I'm 99% sure on this name for a girl, and I'm also 99% sure I'll have a girl first. I don't know why. So I'm definitely not sharing that one, but let's see what I have. And also my boy name I'm pretty certain on. I do have a bunch of girl names. I like the name Junie. I had that written down. I like the name Nala. I have, some of these I don't want to share. I love the name Soleil. It means sun in French, but we know a Soleil, and I just feel like she is so like herself that I probably wouldn't use it. And I don't know that Greg loves it. I just love French names. Lottie, I think, is really cute. Indigo or Indy. Addie, I like Addison or Addie. I like Nelly, Nell, Nella. I like really cutie names. Like Millie's really cute. For boys, I love the name Milo, but we had a dog in the past named Milo, and I just for some reason I can't get myself to use it. I also love the names like Stetson and Colt for boys, but Greg is not a fan, so I won't be using those. The rest I'm going to save because I'm just so nervous that I will want to use them. I hope that was helpful. Tell me all the things about Bloom Colostrum. Why should women be taking it? Why are you taking it? Colostrum is a really awesome supplement because it's basically like nature's superfood. It comes from cows and it's full of gut regenerating nutrients. It can be so good for hair, skin, and nails, immunity, gut health. For me, I started incorporating it after I took antibiotics for H. pylori, which is a gut bacteria that I had that was causing acne. And just incorporating colostrum has really improved my skin, and I was so happy to see that I didn't break out from it. At first, I was nervous because I was like, is it dairy derived? But it did not trigger my acne in that way. But Bloom Colostrum is also very well sourced. It comes from family dairy farms in the US. Calves eat first, grass-fed cows, really, really reputable sources. And I told the team hey, I'm not taking this unless it's the best. So I absolutely love it. And I just throw it in my Stanley cup with my electrolytes, my glutamine, all the things. And I drink that throughout the day. So I feel like I'm reinforcing my gut all day long. What workout classes do you recommend for someone just starting their fitness journey? I would say some I didn't start with workout classes. I started just by going to the gym by myself, and Greg would teach me exercises, and I would watch YouTube videos and learn form. I would say go to some beginner weightlifting classes because I think when you learn the foundation of weightlifting, it really helps you in absolutely everything. I think it is the basis of good exercise. So a beginner's weightlifting class, you can get the compound movements down and you can feel comfortable going to the gym by yourself. How did you get over your riding fall and how did you get your confidence back? Yeah, so for anyone who doesn't know, I had a really bad horse riding fall probably 2 months ago now. To be so honest with you guys, it was I blame myself for it because it was a 3-year-old horse. And if you're in the horse world, you don't really get on a 3-year-old unless you're like a trainer per se, because 3-year-olds they're like puppies. Like they can just freak out. It's like unpredictable. And I was riding this 3-year-old Brad, and I still have so much love for Brad. He's such a cutie, but he was amazing. Like I had ridden him a whole bunch. I was learning how to do barrel racing on him. And it was my first time really loping around the barrels on him, and everything was going fine. And then we were getting around a barrel, and out of nowhere, he just started like, you know, in the rodeo when the horses are bronking, like bucking, trying to get you off, that he started doing that for no reason. I was screaming bloody murder because it was so scary. I ended up coming off, I was underneath him, like hooves in my face. I wasn't wearing a helmet, which was really, really dumb, and really, really dumb. And it was such a big, like in the moment, I was like, I can't believe you rode without a helmet. And it's just in Western riding culture, they don't really wear helmets. And I was just like, okay, I'll do what everyone else is doing. I'll wear a hat. But when I was English riding, I'd always worn a helmet. So that was my first thought. It was also such a reality check because I'm like trying to get pregnant. I obviously value my body and my health, and I couldn't breathe. I was like choking on dust. Thank God the hooves didn't really hit me, but like I was in shock. Like my body was shaking for days afterwards. It was probably the closest like near death experience I feel like I've ever had. And for days afterwards, I like couldn't move my neck. I couldn't really walk. Like everything hurt. And it kept getting worse and worse. And I like had a back injury from it. And I mean, it could have been so much worse, but it was such a reality check for me of like, you need to be wearing a helmet from now on. And yeah, I was like, I don't think I can get back on that horse ever again. But I made sure I got back on a horse within a week. I actually got back on him immediately after falling, which is a crazy thing to say, but that's as they say, get back on the horse, get back in the saddle, because otherwise you'll never get back in again. That was pretty much the last time I rode Brad, and I told myself I'll never ride a 3-year-old horse ever again. And that is honestly what led me to buying Red, which is so funny because I found out about him through the girl I was riding with, and he was with a rodeo family that were vets, an amazing, family that broke him, trained him. They'd known him since he was a baby. And they were like, yeah, he's basically been an old man since he was a tiny baby and is just too slow for the pro barrel races. And I was like, that's perfect for me. Like, I just want to have fun. I want to be safe. He's amazing on trail. Nothing spooks him. He worked on a ranch with cows. So he's just really like unfazed by everything. And it has been so healing for me, but it took time. Like, I'm still a bit jittery when it comes to the barrels because now I associate the barrels with that fall. So it's taking time. Like, I just keep showing up and doing it and like not putting too much pressure on myself, if that makes sense. Do you have any dietary restrictions still? You seem to be eating unrestricted. So I would say I definitely have more food freedom now than I've ever had, because I think with my acne, it made me very paranoid about eating the wrong thing. Like, I was terrified of seed oils. I was terrified of dairy. I was terrified of sugar. I was terrified of mold. I was terrified of gluten. I thought everything was giving me acne, and I literally was just eating like meat and vegetables at one point because I was so scared I wouldn't even get coffee out. But in reality, like, my acne was still bad regardless of that. So I think after going through the H. pylori treatment and rebuilding my gut, I feel like I can get away with having a little bit of gluten every now and again, a little bit of wine, a little like a cheeseburger, and I'm not like breaking out everywhere. I'm still definitely an acne prone person and have to be cautious. And either way, my value set is protein forward, whole ingredients, nutrients. Like, I think nutrition is so, so, so important. But like, the way I was living was borderline orthorexic and made me feel really, really trapped. So I'm so happy that I can now incorporate these foods and like not feel so stuck, if that makes sense. You guys know I'm such a big fan of red light therapy. I love it for my acne scarring, for anti-aging, and overall inflammation. And my favorite brand is Bon Charge. It's a holistic wellness brand with a huge range of evidence-based products to optimize your life in every way. My personal favorite product from them is their red light face mask. I also think this would be such a good gift for anyone in your life who loves skincare or wellness in general. The red light face mask is amazing for wrinkles and fine lines, eczema, migraines, acne, scar healing, razor burns, ingrown facial hair, and so much more. I love using it. You just use it for 10 to 20 minutes every single day. Use it while watching TV, cooking a meal, putting the kids to bed, etc. It's a really great tool you can use while habit stacking. It also boosts collagen and elastin production. It's super lightweight and doesn't get hot. The reason I love the Bon Charge over other brands is that it has removed circadian and sleep disrupting blue and green light from their face masks, so it won't interrupt your sleep. It has zero AMF radiation, zero flicker, sleek and lightweight design, and a 1-year warranty. Bon Charge is currently having a massive 25% off holiday sale that runs until the 3rd of January 2025. This is their biggest sale of the year, so the perfect time to grab wellness goodies, including my favorite red light mask. Just head to boncharge.com and your 25% discount will be auto-applied to your order. That is boncharge.com. As you guys know, Greg and I are very conscious about where we source our meat from. We like grass-fed, we like regenerative, and one of the best meat sources we have found is Maui Nui. It is the only stress-free 100% wild harvested meat on the market, and it's super nutrient dense. Each snack stick contains up to 10 grams of protein, only 55 calories, up to 53% more protein per calorie than grass-fed beef. It's sourced from axis deer populations in Hawaii, and they're also really careful to not over-eradicate these animals, which I really, really appreciate. The meat is extremely clean, tasty, and easy to incorporate into your daily life, and it's not gamey at all. Trust me, guys, I was worried when I first tried it, but it is so delicious. Greg is absolutely obsessed. There's also a limited amount available. Maui Nui seeks to restore balance, not eradicate or farm the animals. Managing populations means only a limited number of memberships are available, so secure your spot now. Memberships through their snack subscription get you early access to fresh meat and new products as they become available. Maui Nui Venison offers healthy, delicious, and ethical meat delivered straight to your door. As a special offer for our Pursuit of Wellness listeners, you can get 15% off your first order of fresh venison, snacks, broth, and their Ohana subscription. Just visit mauinuivenison.com and use promo code POW, P-O-W, at checkout. Supplies are limited by nature, so secure your membership now. Again, that's mauinuivenison.com, and don't forget to use code POW, P-O-W, for 15% off your first order. Advice for launching a business. This is such a great question. Greg and I have done entire episodes about launching our business, and we're going to be doing another one. But I think, and you guys have heard me tell the story so many times, but really, I think just starting and getting going is so important. You guys know my first ever product was a PDF workout guide that I wrote in a Barnes & Noble and sold for $5. And I have to say, at that time, my favorite tools were social media and Shopify. Shopify made it so easy to launch a business. Like, Shopify is the entire reason that we have a business at all. And we pretty much were able to build our website ourselves using Shopify. They make it really easy to design a theme, to move things around, to add your copy, to make it feel really branded. And I remember when we first started our business, Shopify, when you make a sale, it sends you a notification. And if you have your sound on your phone, it goes cha-ching. And Greg and I, at the beginning of our business, kept the sound on. So we'd go about our day and just hear cha-ching, cha-ching, like every couple minutes. And it got to the point when our business was growing, it would be like cha-ching, cha-ching, cha-ching every 2 seconds. And we had to turn the sound off. And I just remember that being such a monumental moment in our business of like, wow, this is changing our lives and we have the potential to make this huge. And still, like, our Bloom is on Shopify, Mari Fitness is on Shopify. It was a life-changing tool for us. And I recommend, if you're thinking of starting a business, like check out Shopify. They have been an incredible partner for us. I remember we hit, I think it was like 1 million orders on Shopify, and they sent us an award, and it really feels like they've been there for us through the whole journey, and I cannot recommend them enough. It also allows you to sell your products on social media and globally. It really is the best way to get them out there, whether you're selling merch, PDFs, like whatever it may be. Shopify is such a good place to start. I'm really, really excited to be working with them. It feels like the most organic partnership ever. So if you guys do want to give it a try, go to shopify.com/Mari, M-A-R-I, shopify.com/Mari to give it a shot. Anyone listening, like, do not wait for permission. Just start, because you have value to offer the world. I promise you. How to prepare for a trying to conceive journey, mentally or physically. I'm going to start trying in April and I can't wait. Here's what I'll say. I think before you even start, get some testing done. Like, get your AMH tests done, check your follicle count, get your partner's sperm tested, get your hormones tested. Like, you want to have knowledge going into it. Also get genetic testing. That was the first thing Greg and I did, because I found out from friends who have been trying for like a year, and then they get genetic testing and discover that there's a very high likelihood that their child could have, a life-threatening issue. That means IVF may be the best option. You want to know those things before you get into it, just so you have the knowledge, right? Like, if the genetic testing shows a possibility of a problem, you want to know that before you get down the path of trying. And luckily for Greg and I, the genetic testing was not an issue, but we did have certain things in our lab tests that we needed to work on, and now they're much better. But I would just say get the testing done. Mentally, it's a tough one, because you don't know how quickly it'll happen. I would just say, like, lower the pressure, lower the expectation, go into it with kindness and grace for yourself, because it's tough to imagine before you're in it, but it is really easy to get obsessed and to feel awful about yourself and to feel like you're doing everything and nothing's working, even if you're just a couple months into trying. So I'm thinking of you. I'm praying for you. It's going to go great. But yeah, knowledge is power. How many hours do you and Greg hang out a day? I mean, probably a lot less than people think. Like, Greg and I used to be attached at the hip because we worked together all day. I mean, like, I could be with Greg all day, every day. I love being around him. However, he is so, so busy. He's the CEO of Bloom. He manages a huge team. We're here in LA together. I have barely seen him. Like, he was asleep when I got home last night. He's in meetings all day. Like, he really optimizes his time when he's here. So when we're in Austin, like, we make a point of planning our weekends out. Like, this weekend we are driving to Round Top together. We have a happy hour with friends. So on the weekend, a lot more time, but Greg does require more alone time than I do. So I make sure he gets his alone time. Like, I can just tell if he needs like a Greg day, and I let him do that, and I go hang out with friends, because I think I'm more social than I actually even realized. I love being around other people. So yeah, I don't know if I can put a number on it, but we almost always have dinner together every night. That's like a sacred thing for us. We always have dinner together. But morning routine, it's a bit intense. Like, Greg is on his grind and he's at the office by 8. So I hope that answers the question. Why do you feel like you gravitate towards horses? I have loved horses and animals my entire life. Like, I remember being 6 years old and telling my parents I was saving my allowance for a horse, which I was getting like £5 a month or something, which is like, I don't know, $10, I forget. But I've loved horses my whole life. I did a little bit of riding in England growing up, and came to America and couldn't keep doing it because it was too expensive. And I remember, as an adult, this was 3 years ago, realizing all I really did was work and work out, and I needed to do something for myself that was just for me. And, there's a different feeling of like paying for it yourself too. Like, I think a lot of the horse girls I saw when I started riding were teenagers whose parents were paying for everything, and it just doesn't feel the same as when you're like, I'm choosing to invest in this for myself, and it's very expensive. So you really need to be committed and love it. And I think I gravitate towards horses because I think they reflect to me how I'm feeling. And also like taking care of something. I feel like a lot of my life is like my business is centered around me as a person. I have like this health routine that's about me. I don't have kids yet. So pouring love and time into something other than myself, I think is really grounding for me. And like going to the barn and you're not really on your phone at all when you're taking care of a horse. You're tacking up, you're grooming, you're riding. You have to be very present and in the moment. And also with horses, like you have to be able to like read the room. Things can't be too loud because you might spook them, and just like things like it needs to be a calm environment for the horse as well. So just something about it. I just think they're incredible animals, and the bond. I mean, like I've been brought to tears from joy of riding a horse. Like I can't even explain the feeling. And even with my old horse Bo, what I got to accomplish with him, like going to a show, getting ribbons, like it was a crazy feeling, like a childhood dream come true. And he allowed me to do that. He like changed my life, So I think it also brings me back to childhood a bit, which is really special. I'm late to the party, but who is your favorite character in ACOTAR? Ooh, Reese, for sure, Reese. Some people say Rise. I say Reese. I think it's because I have an uncle named Reese, spelled the same way. I think he's such an awesome character. I pray they make a TV or movie out of the ACOTAR characters. Also, the Bloom team really wants to do ACOTAR flavored energy drinks, which I know sounds crazy, but imagine like a night court sparkling energy and it's like dark berries or something. I think it would be so cute. We actually mocked the cans up already, so we're working on that, but I miss ACOTAR so much. Okay, someone's asking about the bed topper I use. It's hard to navigate the website. So I use an 8 Sleep to temperature control our mattress. Greg likes it really, really cold because Greg runs very warm. I like it. I like the room to be cold, but I get cold more easily than him. So we have our different sides on different temperatures. I believe Greg and I have the new model of the 8 Sleep. But I do have a code if you guys want to use POW for $200 off. You can totally use that. Why did you choose Austin to live? Couple reasons. LA honestly just is not my favorite place. I struggle with the traffic. I feel like it takes forever to get anywhere. I had a hard time making friends here. I felt like it's just kind of a scene. I mean, no disrespect to LA. Like it did so much for my career and it was a great time in my life, kind of. Not really. But we wanted to move to Austin because we wanted to have a family. I felt like I just wanted to have a bit more of a like small town experience, which I know Austin is not a small town, but it feels like it is, honestly. And then also, you guys know we partnered with Nutrabolt. So Nutrabolt made an investment in Bloom and we partnered with them to create our energy drink. Nutrabolt owns C4 Energy. And they are based in Austin and we wanted to be close by. And it's been a fantastic partnership. And my podcast studio is out of the Nutrabolt headquarters. We're there every single day. And honestly, it's probably my favorite place I've ever lived in my life. I finally have the community and friend group of my dreams. And I just feel really, really at home. And I've only been there for 7 months. So it's pretty amazing. Do you still take progesterone? I do. Between ovulation and getting my period, I take progesterone. It is an important thing to test because if your progesterone levels are too low, it can cause a pregnancy to not stick. So I highly recommend looking into that, guys. I don't want to freak anyone out. Like, please don't be freaked out by that. But I just think it is an important thing to get tested. And there also are natural ways of increasing progesterone. Like I think wild yams, people use creams and things like that. So yeah, and it's also the happiness hormone. Like if you're too low in progesterone, you can feel really anxious and moody all the time. So I think it's important. Please write a book. Wow. That's always been a dream of mine, actually, to write a book. And I think I will one day. I really do think I will write one day. I just sort of feel like my journey isn't done yet. Like maybe I do a volume 1. I don't know. But I've been approached to write a book and I actually started the process at one point. But thank you. That's encouraging to hear. Why do you think that H. pylori was never caught when you were doing blood work? Because certain bacteria can be really difficult to find in lab work. And I'm not going to explain this as well as Emily Morrow will, but bacteria can hide under layers of other things. So sometimes it's like impossible to find unless you just keep testing over time, if that makes sense. Like a lot of the parasites and bacteria and things won't show up in blood work for a while until you get rid of other toxins, if that makes sense. I'm not explaining this well. I recommend you guys go back and listen to my episode with Emily Morrow because she does such a good job of explaining things like that. But yeah, my testing when I first started working with Dr. Gabrielle Lyon was very extensive, and we found I had high levels of H. pylori and so did Greg, which makes sense because we were passing it back and forth. What's your advice for someone trying to grow their online business? Community first, build trust with your community, put free information out there. Keep putting up content, connect, be real, be candid, and show what value you have to offer. Hi, Mari. Would love to hear your thoughts on tanning mousses, lotions, and ingredients. Yeah, so currently I use Salty Face tanning drops because they seem to be acne safe. I don't know that the ingredients are the best. And then I use Luxe Unfiltered Paris Hilton body tanner. Honestly, there's not a ton of acne safe tanning products out there. I wish there were. I think that would be such a great product to have one day, but for now that's what I use and I think it works great. Where will you be traveling to next? Honestly, I am taking a chill on traveling. I'm in LA right now, but I am just so focused on my fertility journey and like honestly taking things a bit slower. I looked at my calendar and kind of cleared it the other day. I realized I'd really overcommitted myself with events and just all these things that were stressing me out. And I was like, what is the point of this? Like, this is a moment in my life where I need to pull back. And I think I have a hard time because I was in a hustle mentality for so long and just said yes to everything for so long in my career, which I think was important because that's how I got here. But right now is a moment where I need to take a step back and be okay with going a bit slower, if that makes sense. So that is where I'm at in my life. Yeah, someone said how to stay relaxed and minimize stress in the trying to conceive journey. Same thing, like pulling back, not filling my calendar to the brim, not traveling left and right, doing the best I can to relax and have routines at home with the red light and the sauna. I'm not saunaing too much because I don't want to stress my body out too much. Acupuncture, really just also not working out too hard. I used to work out so hard and I'm trying to take it a bit more easy there. Like I'm doing Pilates once or twice a week, weightlifting about 3 to 4 times a week, but not high interval training. What are you asking for Christmas? I need ideas. Ugh, guys. Okay, so I will say I'm putting out a holiday gift guide very soon with all my favorite wellness products like skincare, all that type of stuff. So stay tuned for that. I'm going to do a whole episode on it. I'm also asking for a horse trailer. Poor Greg. I'm like, yeah, all I really want is a horse trailer because I want to be able to take Red to trail riding. So that's what I'm asking for. I hope I find a horse trailer under the tree. Any current book recommendations? ACOTAR. A Court of Thorn and Roses series by Sarah J. Maas. Changed my life. Would you ever have an Austin connection event for Power Girls? Yes, we are planning one. I won't lie, it was supposed to be in early December, but with everything I have going on, I ended up pushing that. I think we'll be doing it in the new year, but I'm so excited. I think it's going to be amazing. I'm thinking we just do a walk all together on the trail. We get some smoothies, take some photos, make it really cute. So let me know what you guys think of that. I think it would be amazing. Okay, guys, I think I will call it here. That was an amazing lineup of questions. Thank you so much for asking everything you did. I really appreciate it. Again, and make sure you hit follow or subscribe. I love you guys so much, and I'll see you in the next one. Also, thank you so much to Shopify for sponsoring this episode. Bye. Thanks for joining us on the Pursuit of Wellness podcast. To support this show, please rate and review and share with your loved ones. If you want to be reminded of new episodes, click the subscribe button on your preferred podcast or video player. You can sign up for my newsletter to receive my favorites at marilewellen.com. It will be linked in the show notes. This is a Wellness Loud production produced by Drake Peterson, Fiona Attucks, and Kelly Kyle. This show is edited by Mike Fry, and our video is recorded by Luis Vargas. You can also watch the full video of each episode on our YouTube channel at Mari Fitness. Love you, Power Girls and Power Boys. See you next time. The content of this show is for educational and informational purposes only. It is not a substitute for individual medical and mental health advice and does not constitute a provider-patient relationship. As always, talk to your doctor or health team.